A simple question just exposed the massive logical contradiction at the heart of woke ideology. What you're about to see isn't just someone getting stumped in an interview. This is the moment when the entire house of cards comes crashing down. One question revealed how the same people who claim to follow science and care about mental health are actually promoting the most anti-scientific, harmful approach possible. This woman's response accidentally admitted something that destroys every single transgender rights argument, and she didn't even realize it.
Our U.S. women's soccer team famously lost to high school boys. Do you really think it's fair for these same boys to be competing in girls' sports?
The journalist referenced the embarrassing 2017 defeat where an under-15 boys squad beat Rapinoe and the U.S. women's national soccer team 5-2.
Why should trans people compete against young girls? Do you not think that they're gonna get hurt? Are they gonna get hurt?
The retired soccer star is known for supporting biological men competing against women.
The most urgent LGBTQAI+ issue is the attack on trans people.
I'm not going to deny trans people as women.
Can womanhood then just be appropriated? Someone can then say, I am what you are. So Dylan Mulvaney, who's a biological man who thinks he's a preteen woman, is he a woman?
I feel like I'm just not in the position to tell him he's not a woman. If he says, if they say that they are a woman, I have no, you know what I mean? I'm not going to be like, are you a woman? Are you a man? That's nothing to do with me, honestly.
Got it. So if I'm 30, if I said I was 12, would you acknowledge that?
Yes, I would. It's kind of like a mental illness. Like, you know how someone could be 30 and they could truly believe they're 12. Like, those people really exist.
Right here, she just accidentally admitted the entire game. Notice what she said. It's kind of like a mental illness. She instinctively understands that when someone's internal perception doesn't match reality, that's a psychological disorder. When a 30-year-old believes they're 12, she immediately recognizes this as delusional thinking. She's applying basic psychological principles correctly. But she doesn't realize she just described gender dysphoria using the exact same framework. The cognitive dissonance is about to get much worse.
It's a mental illness.
Great point. So if somebody, you're in healthcare, came to you and they said, I'm anorexic, so I think I'm fat, and they said, I want liposuction, should you give them that surgery?
Of course not, because that would be compromising their actual health.
This is where the entire ideology starts to unravel. She correctly identifies that affirming an anorexic person's distorted self-perception would be harmful and wrong. She understands that when someone has a mental condition that makes them see their body incorrectly, the ethical response is to treat the underlying condition, not to surgically alter their body to match their delusion. She's applying sound medical ethics. First, do no harm. Don't perform unnecessary surgical procedures on someone whose perception of their body is distorted by mental illness. This is basic medical common sense that every rational person would agree with.
Hold on, but you just said that we have to affirm somebody's mental illness. They want liposuction, why shouldn't they get it? Wouldn't it make more sense to treat the person and say, you're not what you think you are, rather than affirming the lie that they think there's something else?
Kirk just connected the dots that she couldn't connect herself. If someone's internal perception of their age is a mental illness that shouldn't be affirmed, and if someone's distorted perception of their body weight is a mental illness that shouldn't be surgically accommodated, then why is someone's distorted perception of their biological sex different? All three scenarios involve the same basic psychological dynamic. Someone's internal sense of self doesn't match objective reality. In all cases, we're dealing with people who genuinely believe something about themselves that simply isn't true. The question exposes that there's no logical reason to treat gender dysphoria differently from age dysphoria or body dysmorphia. If affirming delusions is wrong in two cases, why is it suddenly right in the third case? The woman has no answer because there is no answer that doesn't completely contradict everything she just said.
Hi, I'm Nicole, and my pronouns are she, they, z.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
And I am gender fluid.
But of course you are.
But I'm the type of gender fluid who never goes fully into man.
Everybody knows you never go full.
Man. Maybe I'll go fully into woman, but I'll never go fully into man. But I will go into mask.
What?
So when I'm feeling, feminine, my pronouns are she, her. When I'm feeling a little less feminine, but still feminine, it's going to be she, they. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, I am Zer.
That's not a real thing.
That is because to me, personally, and this isn't kosher, this isn't orthodox, I personally view them to be somewhat masculine, like he, him, except you put a little Z, because, it's a little different. So like you say, like he's over there, just say Z's over there. So as I wake up on this lazy Sunday afternoon, my pronouns today are Zer.
I believe that he's gay.
That's how he identifies.
How do you identify?
Actually, I identify as...
Oh, here we go. It's that long plethora of, oh my God.
Wait for it.
I will. Let me get a chair.
This senator just destroyed this woke woman with simple facts.
Can men get pregnant?
Mr. Chairman, yes.
Define what a woman is.
Relevance, point of order. Thank you very much.
It is relevant and point of order not recognized. I would like you to answer that because you are speaking on behalf of a bill that involves pregnant women, and I would like to get your take on that.
I'm speaking in opposition to a bill related to the domestic violence against people who are pregnant.
Against a woman who is pregnant. That's in the bill. Not people, woman. So I would like you to explain in your definition what a woman is.
There are people who identify as different genders who are capable of getting pregnant. I am not going to feed more into the bigotry of that question.
Just a few short years ago, we knew what a woman was. We knew men could not get pregnant. I still believe they cannot get pregnant. I was called a bigot this morning because of that philosophy. We have to keep telling the truth that God created a male and female, and real men protect real women.
You know what the leading cause of death for pregnant people is?
Pregnant people? Mm-hmm. Mothers?
If you'd like to call them mothers, not all of them are mothers.
What are they if they're not mothers?
They're pregnant people.
What? What people other than mothers are pregnant?
It's interesting because you come into this conversation, trying to hold this moral superiority. But when I use inclusive language, which it only takes a couple extra syllables to use inclusive language,
to include who?
It seems to include people who don't, identify as women but can become pregnant.
And in order to be a moral person, I need to accept the idea that a man can really become a woman.
You are trying to deny someone of their identity and deny what their life experience is, and that doesn't seem like a moral stance to me.
I identify as being correct and more correct than you on this issue, and I would just ask that you accept and affirm my identity. Do you?
You are not a medical professional, and abortion and pregnancy is a medical concern. That's not your identity.
I promise you that's my identity.
Should trans women be included in feminist conversations? How about in women's spaces?
Yes, they're women. What's the question? Trans women are women.
So I want to come at this from the position of an athlete. So I play semi-pro basketball, semi-pro volleyball. So when it comes to athletic spaces, I don't think that trans women should be allowed into athletic spaces. Again, we work very hard for the little opportunity there is in the space because we're not as entertaining as the men. Sorry, we're just not. And so it's like you're going to take the little opportunity that we're given. And the problem is we can't compete. We can't. I'm 6 foot. If I go up against a 6-foot guy and I play basketball with him, he's going to body me, even if I have years more of training. And so it's like you're taking away the little opportunity that we're given and we all work so hard for, and you're just giving it back to biological guys. It's like this will be the end of women's sports.
Have you tried confidence?
Eli, hold on, Minnie.
Sorry,
Eli.
confidence can't make me bench what a guy benches.
Travis Allen, he was a girls' soccer coach at Randolph Union Middle School in Vermont. He was just suspended from his job without pay because he complained about a male student looming around the girls' locker room. Then the school punished Travis Allen's daughter, Blake Allen, for speaking about it too. Travis, you complained about a man in the women's locker room and you were punished?
Correct. I made a social media post that referred to the male student as a male, and I was punished because I misgendered him.
Blake Allen, what did you do wrong in the eyes of the school and how were you punished?
I was in the locker room and the trans student walked in. The rest of the team was in there. I was really uncomfortable and I left and I told the school and they just shut me down and said there's nothing they could do, and I was later suspended.
How old were you when this happened?
I'm 14, I'm a freshman.
And when you complained about a dude in the girls' locker room, you got suspended?
Yes.
The modern world runs on a single, corrosive command: affirm the lie. You are ordered, on pain of social and professional extinction, to nod along with delusions that would have been grounds for institutionalization just a generation ago. They demand you sacrifice your own perception of reality at the altar of their feelings. But this entire ideological structure is so fractal that it shatters into a million pieces the moment it's confronted with its own internal logic. We have the evidence. We have the source code. You can watch as someone is asked if they would acknowledge a 30-year-old man as a 12-year-old child, and they will say yes. They will say yes because the fear of being called a bigot outweighs their connection to reality. They'll even call it a mental illness while simultaneously insisting that your only moral option is to participate in the delusion. This is the new compassion, a shared psychosis where everyone agrees to pretend the emperor is fully clothed. But then, the trap is sprung. The perfect question. Should an anorexic who believes she is fat be given the liposuction she demands? Suddenly, the programming glitches. The answer is an immediate, panicked, of course not. And the reason they give is the key that unlocks everything, because it would compromise her actual health. In that moment of instinctive self-preservation, they reveal the entire game. They admit that there is, in fact, an objective reality, an actual health, that overrides a person's subjective feelings. They admit that affirming a delusion can be profoundly harmful. The truth slips out, their compassion is situational. It's a luxury belief they can afford to hold when the consequences are social and abstract, but one they immediately abandon when faced with the concrete reality of physical harm. This is the fatal flaw woven into the fabric of their worldview. It's why they cannot define a woman. It's why their solidarity evaporates the second a biological male threatens their position on a sports team. Their principles are a set of convenient postures, not a coherent ideology. You cannot win by arguing, because they are not committed to logic,